The Ember and the Everwood by Blake Early, a fantasy-inspirational short story, Act 1. The story of the Ember. There is a place where the trees do not end, a forest so old its roots drink from forgotten rivers, and its leaves whisper to the wind before it even arrives. And beneath this endless wood, hidden deeper than any path can go, lies something ancient, something that has existed since the first dawn, a Gietlin ember, not a spark from a fire, nor a coal from a forge, but something older. It does not burn, and yet it is always warm. It does not flicker, yet it is never gone. The Everwood, as the forest is called, guards the ember fiercely. Many have searched for it, kings with armies, thieves with maps, scholars with spells. None have returned with the ember. Over time, people stopped searching. And so, the legend became something else, a story for children, something whispered in quiet moments, something spoken only by those who still dared to dream. Until Solmi entered the Everwood, she was not a warrior, not a queen, not a thief. She was only a girl with a question, and the forest had been waiting. Act 2. The question that led her Hordalmetars. Simi had asked the mountains what her path was, but the mountains were too vast. She had asked the sea what she was meant to do, but the sea changed with the tides. She had asked the sky for direction, but the sky only reflected her back at herself. And so she asked the forest, and the Everwood answered. The path was not clear. There was no road, no signs, just a feeling, a pull deep in her chest, as though something unseen was guiding her forward. She followed. Act 3. The Trials of the Everwood. The first trial was fear. The mist thickened, so dense that she could not see her hands. The shadows between the trees stretched and loomed, twisting into things she feared most: failure, loss, regret. The wind carried voices, whispers of all the ways she was not enough. You should turn back. You are not meant for this. This was never your path. But she stepped forward, her breath uneven, her hands trembling. The mist did not part, but the whispers faded. The second trial was doubt. The trees began to move. One moment they formed a straight path forward. The next, they curled and twisted, making her question whether she had been walking in circles. What if the ember is not real? What if you are chasing something that does not exist? What if you are lost? She closed her eyes, listened, not to the fear, not to the confusion, to herself, her heartbeat, her breath, her own certainty. And when she opened her eyes, the path had returned. The final trial was choice. At the heart of the Everwood, there was no ember, only a pool of water, small, still, untouched by wind or time. Solmi stepped forward, staring at her own reflection. "This is the gift," she whispered, "but it's just me." And then she understood. The ember was never an object to be found. It was never something outside of herself. It was her own fire, her choices, her voice, her steps forward even in doubt. All her life she had waited for someone or something to give her purpose. But purpose was never given. It was chosen. Act 4. Becoming the Ember. Solmi stepped out of the Everwood unchanged, yet entirely new. She carried no ember in her hands, no golden prize, no proof of what she had found. But when she walked, her steps glowed with certainty. For the first time, she did not wonder where she was meant to go. She simply walked forward, and the Everwood watched her go, whispering of the one who did not take the ember, but became it. End.